you're right. You want to be breathing with your diaphragm. But what that looks like is often misunderstood. So the clue is in the diaphragm, yes, but when somebody says diaphragm, they might think of it as belly breathing or a sort of a large expansion or a fill it all up breath or a big looking breath, for example. And these are all potentially incorrect versions of it. So what we find is that because people have heard things like belly breathing, they bloat their belly out, which is their backup muscles from their belly, not their diaphragm as the main mover. So what we're looking to do is kind of isolate where should you feel movement if it's your diaphragm, not your diaphragm plus a load of backup muscles that we're trying to work with. But then the upper muscles, so the upper chest, these are also backup muscles. So whether it's the belly, like the belly button, or the upper chest, these are both sort of survive muscles rather than thrive muscles. So the thrive muscles are around the diaphragm itself, where the diaphragm plunges down and we have expansion around the actual lower ribs area. And when we're public speaking, we don't want to be in the upper chest for this reason. So if I go into a position where I'm going to start speaking in my upper chest, I'll be very in my head. I'll feel very disconnected from my body, which a lot of your leaders will associate with that language. They'll be like, yep, I don't feel like that. They won't be able to describe or notice their feet. They will feel detached. And when they speak, it's up here from their throat and they're really trying to get their message, but the way I'm projecting just doesn't come across with the same level of gravitas or connection with the audience because I'm completely disconnected from myself.
And help me understand, Jane, what's the difference between, because you're right, I've heard this term belly breathing a lot. Help me and also our listeners, the difference between belly breathing and breathing with a diaphragm.
Okay, so if I belly breathe and I try to speak, it's going to be like this. So I'm trying to speak and I'm feeling like I haven't really got very much control because I've run out of breath. Yeah? Whereas if I go from my diaphragm and then I can speak and I can measure and I can slow and I can keep going and 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 going. This is a difference between a belly breath where there's no control and the diaphragm itself using the rib muscles around. So when we have a belly bloating, it suggests that we're actually in a poor posture because you can't bloat your belly button if you're pulled up, zipped up, tall into an elegant, strong posture. It switches off your belly button area. So it can only go to what I call the D spot, which is on the front of your body. If somebody was thinking about where a bra strap was, it would be a couple of fingers lower than that. So if you go down the sternum, the hard breastbone at the front with your finger, and this is your index finger, and you take it all the way down to the split of your ribs, just at the bottom. Then you go 1, 2, 3 fingers down. None of this is yet the D spot. It is just below that. It's bouncy. So that is literally the very top of your belly, shall we say, like the very, very top. And we should feel the movement as we breathe in. That D spot should move away from you, pushing into your fingers. For some people, they have a backwards breathing habit where they actually suck in and they go up into the upper chest. And this is often seen at high leadership level where there's potentially been childhood trauma or some sort of period of time that has been unsafe. You know, a boss who's maybe narcissistic, an unsafe relationship at home, all sorts of things. And it's not necessarily home life that triggers this, but it's a long period of time of feeling unsafe. So we do see this a lot with people in high power positions who are, you know, confident and they come across in a way that looks like they've got everything under control. But deep down, they are so disconnected from themselves. They don't have the power in their voice. They don't have the feeling in their body, the ability to calm, the ability to ground and connect. And this really, really impacts them in not only health, but their performance and recovery as well.